Hey guys, I am back sitting in my spot in my backyard, so hopefully my internet holds up this time. Last time it was cutting out just a little bit. So I've been reading a lot of stuff online, which I'm sure all of us have because we've kind of been home more than ever before. And the thing, my internet's not liking this. So I'm seeing some stuff about multidimensionality. And my last two spirituality talks have been very basics, very kind of intro level type stuff. This is not that. This is I don't want to move into the, I might have to move into the sun for this because my internet doesn't seem to like reaching my phone today. So anyway, so we're talking about multidimensionality in a lot of the different posts that I'm seeing online. And what this is, a lot of people that are just going through a spiritual awakening have not necessarily come up against this concept of multiple dimensions. I think in some level, in a third dimensional level, you guys can kind of wrap your heads around the fact that there are three dimensions, two things. And your third dimensional experience, your physical experience, is one that is rooted in duality. So when you see a lot of these posts that are inflammatory or that are rooted in conflict, it's rooted in duality, and that is the third dimensional construct. So multidimensionality is this idea that there's more than the third dimension that exists. Okay, so when we have an experience, we can experience it on many different levels of reality. And because you're experiencing it on different levels of reality, it does not negate the other experiences. So let me give you an example. A few weeks ago, and maybe it's been a couple of months ago now, I had a stomach ache. And it was pretty bad. It was one of those crampy, just can't sleep, curled up in the fetal position type of stomach cramp problems. And, I got to thinking about it and I was like, it was probably the stuff that I'm integrating right now. There's just a lot of integration happening. And when you're integrating new information, new ideas, new realities, you experience that in your solar plexus and your sacral chakra. So your stomach and your intestines, all right, are the areas of your body that you actually digest food and information and knowledge. So I was like, I'm just integrating all of this new stuff and my body can, handle it. And then I was like, well, there's more than that just going on too. I probably shouldn't have eaten raw dough while I was baking sourdough bread. Probably wasn't a smart idea. So maybe the reason my stomach hurts is because I've eaten fermented raw dough. And then I was like, but does that change the fact that it hurt, that my stomach hurt maybe because I'm integrating all of these big ideas, right? No, it doesn't negate it. And then so this idea that my stomach hurt because of the sourdough bread dough that I shouldn't have eaten is a third dimensional reason why my stomach hurt. A fourth dimensional reason is integrating these new ideas. Fourth dimension's all in the mind, okay? And so the mind is integrating new ideas, new knowledge. And then the fifth dimensional reason, if we want to go even higher than that, is going to be more of a spiritual sense or a cosmic sense or universal sense. So our planet is raising its frequency, it's raising its vibration. That can be proven with physics. That the vibration, the frequency of our planet as it exists today is not the same that it was 20, 30, 40 years ago. And so that affects us. We are inhabitants of this planet. We do not control the frequency of the earth. The earth controls the frequency of us. And we are adapting to the higher frequencies of the planet. So the fifth dimensional reason why my stomach could be hurting is because I'm integrating all of these new frequencies on a global, universal, cosmic scale. So because I'm integrating these frequencies, and because I'm integrating these new ideas and knowledge, and because I ate fermented sourdough bread, my stomach hurt on all three levels. One did not negate the other. So that's the concept of multidimensionality, is having the same experience from different vantage points and making them all true. All right, so this is something that's pretty big to wrap your mind around. So what we're seeing happening, as I mentioned earlier, the planet's vibration is raising, and we are catching up to that vibrational shift. We are attuning to the new vibration. What you're seeing is a split of these dimensions, and what it looks like is people over here are fighting about these constructs in the third dimension, which are rooted in duality. So the black and white and I mean that literally in a racial term, the Black Lives Matter, the black and white, the me versus you, the right versus wrong, the I'm doing the smart thing, you're doing the stupid thing. Those are all dualistic issues that are rooted in the third dimensional construct. So when you live in duality, you're living in the third dimension. Now, is it wrong? No, it is not wrong to live in the third dimension. The fourth dimension, fifth dimension, 12th dimension are not better than the third dimension. The reason that you came into this body and experienced this life is to experience that duality. So living in it is not a problem. It is getting stuck in it when it no longer serves you. So transcending the third dimension by understanding and using your mind, you can raise into the fourth dimension. And then pulling back even farther, panning out even more, you can see what is happening on a global scale. And that is the fifth dimension. And you're taking the dualistic nature out of it. Okay? So when you pan out and you can see things in a global sense, that is when you can see that the planet is shifting. And you can look at that and you can say, oh, it's because we're destroying our planet. Or you could look at that as, okay, the vibration is raising, and we know that when our vibration raises, anything that is no longer in a vibrational match to the new frequency is going to fall away. So in your personal life, as you raise your frequency through personal development, professional development, increasing the health of your physical body, focusing on your mindset, meditation practices. Obviously, I'm using essential oils for this too. All of those things raise your vibration. And when you do that in your life, when you make that decision to raise your frequency, your vibration, what you're doing and what you're seeing around you is old paradigms and constructs falling away. This looks like friends that you were friends with forever suddenly writing you off and saying, we're not going to be friends anymore. It's having your job push you out. It is new people coming into your life. So when your frequency raises, or I shouldn't say raises, because this honestly can happen in the opposite way when your frequency lowers. So when your frequency changes, what you are a match for will come to you. So when we talk about, mindsets, again, we're kind of working in the fourth dimensional mind knowledge area. When you focus on what it is that you want and you work on really creating the feeling in your body of what you want, you're going to be attracting the new things to you. So all of the things can exist simultaneously in a reality. You can experience physical discomfort that is caused by not feeding your body nourishing foods. And you can also be processing new information, and it causes physical discomfort in your body. And you can be experiencing things on a global level, and that is truly more of a subconscious, superconscious level that you're not aware of, that is still affecting your physical body. So to make yourself feel better, you're going to surround yourself with things that make you feel good. That's going to be nourishing foods. That's going to be positive people. That's going to be away from your television set, away from the news. It's going to be being in nature more often. And of course, I'm going to work with essential oils. Idaho Blue Spruce, this is the highest vibrational oil I think that we have. If you don't have that one, Northern Lights Black Spruce, also going to do the trick for you. A drop on your crown. Your body works to attune to the frequency of that oil. Meaning, your body is trying to raise its frequency to match the higher frequency of that oil. It does the same thing when you eat really good food. It does the same thing when you drink purifying water. It does the same thing when you go out and you put your bare feet on the ground and spend time in nature. Your body is working to attune to those frequencies. When you raise your vibration, then you're going to see things happen around you. If you are in the third dimension, you may experience it as loss. You may experience it as pain. If you are seeing it from a more panned out perspective, you are seeing that your vibration has changed, and therefore the physical reality around you also has to change. All right? So this fighting that is happening, if you can observe it without being pulled into it, then you will notice things that are happening on a more global scale. And it won't affect you so deeply. It will still affect you, but it's not going to cause your physical body to have as many reactions as it does, like being punched in the stomach. Okay. And let me see if there's anything else that they want me to touch on. So one of the other things that comes up is this idea that we are waiting for something to happen, that we are experiencing an event, that it is an awakening of a Hollywood level scale. So I think we've been conditioned in a culturalistic, like social pop culture way when we watch movies to expect a happening, an event, to be this drastic thing, okay? And it can be, something like dropping an atomic bomb. That is a happening. That is a big, massive event. That is an explosion, right? And it's boom. Most of the time, damn near all of the time, that's never going to happen. Okay? What you're going to realize is that the awakening or the event happens every single day in incremental amounts. And you'll look back, and this is, a perfect example for 2020. You'll look back 6 months and look back at January of 2020 and be like, oh my gosh, it's so far away. Yet it took months to get to where we are. So it wasn't that there was this catastrophic event, although a pandemic totally sped things up. Most of the time when you see it, you're not going to be waiting for the sky to turn green and for Jesus to come descending down from a cloud. That's not going to happen, okay? So look for the shifts in your everyday life and also take control of those shifts. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the creator of your circumstances. If you don't like what you're seeing around you, it is your responsibility to change them. Nobody's coming to save you. And I hope that doesn't scare you as much as it might. But when you wait for somebody to come out of the sky and save you, you are giving away your power. And the fact of the matter is, that's not going to happen. Nobody's going to come down out of the sky, swoop you up, and make everything better. That's just not going to happen. So work on creating your stability and your structure in your home and your sacred space. Doing that through creating rituals for yourself that make you feel good. Example being journaling every morning with a nice cup of tea or coffee and just creating that ritual for yourself day in and day out. I use, frankincense is going to help ground you a whole lot. Valor. I pulled some oils that they asked me to. I was like, okay, what oils are going to talk about when we talk about multidimensionality. And the first one that came up was the Idaho Blue Spruce, the high vibe oil. Because it's going to really help you to transcend the third and the fourth dimensions and really move into the higher dimensions. The next one that they pulled for is transformation. And I think this is beautiful whenever you're transforming your vibration and your energy to get to that higher dimension. And by the way, all of these dimensions overlap. You don't go to another place. Again, Hollywood has this idea, like they planted this visual in most people's heads, that when you go to a different dimension, you are literally leaving one place and going to another. You can experience 3 different dimensions in the course of 5 minutes. It's not about where you go. It's about being in your body. So, how in your body are you and how floaty do you feel? And I feel like for me, that's if I'm feeling very rooted and very present in my body and I look around and I see the things, I'm present to my surroundings, then I'm more in the third dimension, all right? When I am really in my head or even not in my body, that's when it feels very floaty and I'm not really paying attention to the things that are around me. It's a very floaty, light feeling, and it's kind of like if you were to ever catch yourself daydreaming, how you're here but you're not here. That is what it feels like to be in a higher dimensional state of consciousness. You're not leaving your body, you're still in your body. And in fact, I get people telling me this all the time whenever I'm doing sound healings. They wake up, I was like, so how was it? And they were like, I was in my body, but I was not even here. That is experiencing a higher frequency. And to support that, you want to use higher frequency oils, which is why I keep going back to the spruce trees. The spruce trees are super high vibe oil. Blue spruce, black spruce, white spruce, pick a spruce. Those trees are high vibe oils. Frankincense can help on both ends. Third dimension or fifth dimension or fourth dimension. It helps with focus. Frankincense is going to be a good one for all of the things. Transformation is really going to support the transition from one to the next. All right. Valor is going to help you feel safe and grounded throughout this process. It has frankincense in it. It has spruce in it. So it's going to help you feel supported throughout the whole process, kind of like transformation. And then Dreamcatcher is definitely more of a astral travel, astral plane. We're not really going there with this, but fifth dimensional type of oil. All right, so those are the 6 that they had me bring out. As I said at the beginning, this was not intended to be like a basic intro type of thing. This is like grad school course, but it's really what I was called to share about today and the oils that I use to support going through that process. I hope this was beneficial and that it reaches those that need to hear this message, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.